Hello guys, Jataime here, how you doing? Imagine floating in the silent, inky blackness of space, a realm of absolute quiet and profound solitude. The stars are brilliant, unwavering points of light against an infinite canvas. Over 200,000 miles from home, Earth appears as a fragile, blue marble, a distant beacon of life and warmth. It's a breathtaking view, yet also a stark reminder of the immense distance separating you from everything you know. For Jim Lovell, the seasoned commander, along with rookie Jack Swigert and Fred Hayes, the lunar module pilot aboard Apollo 13, this wasn't a dream or a simulation. This was their reality, a carefully orchestrated mission to explore the lunar surface, until a sudden violent bang shattered the calm, transforming their journey into a desperate fight for survival. Alarms blared, red lights flashed like angry eyes, and a wave of confusion and disbelief swept through the crew. What had just happened? Was it a meteoroid strike? A system malfunction? In the midst of the chaos, Swigert's urgent words crackled to Houston, a message that would soon grip the world. "Okay, Houston, we've had a problem here." Instantly, Mission Control, the nerve center of the Apollo program, snapped to attention. Every eye was glued to the telemetry data streaming in from the spacecraft. In the unforgiving vacuum of space, there's no roadside assistance, no easy fix. Only the collective knowledge, skill, and ingenuity of the engineers and flight controllers back on Earth. The crew, peering out of their windows, saw a ghostly plume, an ethereal stream of gas, venting from their service module, a chilling visual confirmation of the unfolding disaster. Their ship was bleeding oxygen, the very air they needed to breathe, and with it, precious electrical power, the lifeblood of their spacecraft. The ambitious dream of landing on the moon, of walking on its dusty surface and planting the American flag, vanished in an instant, replaced by a far more urgent imperative. Now, the only mission, the sole objective, was survival, to somehow navigate their crippled spacecraft back to Earth. The cold, hard numbers displayed on the screens in Mission Control told a grim and increasingly desperate story. Power and oxygen, the essential ingredients for life support, were vanishing at an alarming rate, threatening to plunge the crew into darkness and suffocation. The vastness of the universe had thrown them an impossible challenge, a cosmic curveball, and the clock was relentlessly ticking down, each second bringing them closer to the brink. The race against time, the desperate struggle to bring Apollo 13 and its crew home, had begun, a testament to human courage and ingenuity in the face of overwhelming odds. Before disaster struck, Apollo 13 was set to be the third lunar landing. Commander Jim Lovell, Jack Swigert, and Fred Hayes were a skilled team, aiming for the moon's Fra Mauro Highlands. Their spacecraft Apollo was a marvel. The command module Odyssey, the service module, and the lunar module Aquarius. Odyssey was home and control center. The service module provided power and oxygen. Aquarius was meant only for lunar landings. The mission plan was precise: launch, orbit, lunar landing, and return. But in space, even the best plans can unravel in an instant. Now, their journey was about survival, not exploration. The crisis began deep inside the service module, the unsung workhorse of the Apollo spacecraft. Within its metallic shell resided the critical systems that sustained the crew and powered their journey. At the heart of the problem lay one of its oxygen tanks, a tank damaged years before launch during a routine test. This seemingly minor flaw, a silent imperfection hidden from view, would prove to be fatally flawed, a ticking time bomb waiting for the right moment to detonate. The damage was done, and the stage was set for disaster. Unbeknownst to the crew, a simple fan switch designed to stir the oxygen and ensure accurate readings was about to trigger disaster. A flick of the wrist, a routine procedure, would unleash a chain of events that threatened to end the mission and the lives of the astronauts on board. The damaged wires inside the tank, their insulation compromised, sparked violently as the switch was flipped. This electrical surge in the presence of highly pressurized pure oxygen created a perfect storm for ignition. The spark was small, but its consequences would be catastrophic. In a fraction of a second, the tank exploded, a violent eruption within the confines of the service module. The force of the blast ripped through the internal structure, sending shockwaves throughout the spacecraft. The explosion tore a panel off the service module, ripping open its side and venting precious oxygen into the vacuum of space. The lifeblood of the mission, the very air the astronauts needed to breathe, was now escaping into the void. Jim Lovell, the mission commander, was the first to realize something was terribly wrong. He saw the gas escaping. We were venting something out into space, a chilling realization that their situation had suddenly become critical. The explosion didn't just deplete the oxygen supply, it crippled both oxygen tanks, effectively killing the fuel cells that powered Odyssey. These fuel cells were the primary source of electricity and water for the command module, and without them, the spacecraft was rapidly losing its life support capabilities. Systems began to shut down one by one, plunging the spacecraft into darkness and silence. The hum of machinery faded, replaced by the ominous quiet of impending failure. Alarms blared in mission control, and within the spacecraft, a cacophony of warnings as the main computer flickered and threatened to die. Red lights flashed, indicating critical system failures, painting a grim picture of the unfolding emergency. The command module, once a beacon of technological prowess, became a powerless shell, a fragile capsule drifting helplessly thousands of miles from Earth. Its fate, and the fate of its crew, hung precariously in the balance. The moon, their original destination, was now a distant bystander to their unfolding disaster, a silent witness to their struggle for survival. The dream of walking on its surface had been replaced by the stark reality of a desperate fight to return home. Their ship, once a symbol of human achievement, a testament to the power of ingenuity and determination, was now a cold, dark tomb, a stark reminder of the unforgiving nature of space. The warmth and light of civilization had been replaced by the chilling emptiness of the cosmos. The crew faced a new reality. Survival depended on quick thinking, resourcefulness, and unwavering teamwork. They had to put aside their disappointment and fear, and focus on the immediate challenge of staying alive. Every system, every breath was now a fight against time, a desperate race against the dwindling resources of their crippled spacecraft. Each decision, each action, had to be carefully considered, as there was no room for error. The smallest error, the slightest miscalculation, could mean the difference between life and death, between a triumphant return and a tragic end. The stakes were impossibly high, and the pressure was immense. The true test of Apollo 13 had begun, a test not of technology or engineering but of human courage, resilience, and the indomitable spirit of exploration. With Odyssey dying, the crew's only hope was Aquarius, the lunar module, never meant for deep space survival. They raced to transfer navigation data and power down Odyssey, preserving its batteries for re-entry. Aquarius became their lifeboat, but it was cramped, freezing, and designed for 2 men for 2 days, not 3 for 4. To save power, they shut down heaters, the temperature plummeted, water condensed on the walls, and sleep was nearly impossible. Supplies were scarce. Water was rationed to 6 ounces per person per day, risking dehydration. The crew endured cold, exhaustion, and hunger, trapped in a failing ship. Yet a new threat was building. The air they exhaled was turning deadly. Every breath increased the risk of carbon dioxide poisoning. Survival would require ingenuity, and fast. Inside the Aquarius lunar module, a silent threat was rapidly escalating. As carbon dioxide levels began to climb, the crew faced a silent killer, carbon dioxide poisoning. The air was becoming increasingly toxic, and time was running out. The lunar module's filters, designed for a much shorter mission, were quickly overwhelmed. Their capacity to scrub the air was diminishing with every passing moment. 3 men breathing inside a space designed for 4 long days was never the plan. The life support systems were straining under the unexpected load. Odyssey, the command module, had spare filters, a potential lifeline, but they were square. And Aquarius, their temporary sanctuary, desperately needed round ones. The incompatibility presented a seemingly insurmountable obstacle. Hundreds of thousands of miles away on Earth, engineers raced against the clock to invent a solution, a way to bridge this critical gap. Their challenge: to devise a fix using only what was already on board, plastic bags, cardboard, and the ever-reliable duct tape. With ingenuity and precision, they built a makeshift adapter, a testament to human problem-solving under extreme duress. Then they relayed step-by-step instructions to the crew, guiding them through the intricate process of assembling the life-saving device. The astronauts, battling fatigue and dwindling hope, carefully assembled the device, their lives hanging in the balance. With trembling hands, they connected the square canister to the round system, creating a fragile link to breathable air. Against all odds, defying the limitations of their resources, it worked. Carbon dioxide levels began to drop, slowly but surely, and the air inside Aquarius became safe to breathe again. This was a triumph of teamwork, ingenuity, and unwavering determination under immense pressure. The immediate crisis was averted, a testament to human resilience, but the journey home, fraught with peril, was far from over. The crew's resourcefulness and quick thinking had bought them precious time, a chance to continue their fight for survival. Every problem solved, every obstacle overcome, revealed a new challenge looming ahead, a constant reminder of the precariousness of their situation. The world watched with bated breath, glued to their television screens, holding its breath, praying for a miracle. Apollo 13's desperate fight for survival against the unforgiving vacuum of space continued relentlessly. With air restored, Apollo 13 was still stranded, heading toward the moon in a crippled ship. A direct return was impossible, the main engine was too risky to use. Their only hope? Loop around the moon and use its gravity to slingshot back to Earth, a free return trajectory. But their course needed correction. The crew had to fire Aquarius's small descent engine, never designed for this task. With computers offline, they navigated manually, using the sun as a guide. The engine burn was a tense gamble, but it worked, setting them on a path home. As they swung behind the moon, radio silence cut them off from Earth. They gazed at the lunar surface they'd never touch, then began the long journey back. The most dangerous test, re-entry, still awaited. The final hours were the most tense. The crew reactivated Odyssey with precious battery power, then bid farewell to Aquarius, their unlikely savior. Jettisoning the service module, they saw the damage. One side was gone. Only Odyssey's heat shield stood between them and fiery destruction. As they plunged into Earth's atmosphere, radio blackout began. Seconds ticked by, then minutes. The world waited in silence, fearing the worst. Suddenly, Sweigert's voice broke through. Parachutes deployed. Odyssey splashed down safely in the Pacific. Cheers erupted in mission control. Against all odds, Apollo 13 had returned. The mission became a successful failure, a testament to courage, ingenuity, and teamwork. Apollo 13's story endures as proof that even in disaster, the human spirit can triumph. See you guys in the next video. Till then, take care, keep learning, keep watching. Signing off, Ja Taime.